Hey, 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 it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Hey, so this is a Diddy update. Two things that are going on. One, the superseding indictment has been updated to reflect witness tampering. Two, the government has to turn over witness statements by Monday, but we are going to get into this right now. So, what I did is I pulled up the last superseding indictment that was filed, and I compared it to the new superseding indictment, and I came with the conclusion that a paragraph has been added. So here, as you can see, this is all for this section. And actually, this was under the, let's see, the purposes of the Combs enterprise. So under this particular section, it went all the way to J. So going into the new indictment that was updated, let's get to that page. We have K, and it reads, when Combs' authority or reputation was threatened by the possibility of negative publicity or legal or law enforcement action against him, including in or about late 2023 following public allegations of Combs' crime, Combs and members and associates of the enterprise pressured witnesses and victims, including through attempted bribery, to stay silent and not report what they experienced or knew to law enforcement. On phone calls, Combs and other members, associates of the enterprise, among other things, provided these victims and witnesses with a false narrative of events in an effort to conceal Combs's crimes. Combs caused these calls to be recorded on at least two occasions. All right. So whoever he was speaking with, they ended up recording the calls. So there's nothing that he can do to say he never called you know, these individuals and bribed him, or any of his associates or members of the Combs enterprise. And that could be any of his entities. So that is what they updated. So they updated this to insert the witness tampering portion of it. Now, we have read a couple of lawsuits where they stated that he, called them before he got arrested, and he tried to, I believe it was one instance where they said that he called somebody and she had an attorney, but yet he still spoke with her. So it was just a lot of things that he was doing that he was not supposed to do. But the government, I'm pretty sure they went through all of their evidence, they went through all of the witnesses, and they got all the information that they needed in order to update this indictment. Now, speaking of witnesses, there was an order that was also issued today. But before we get to that, I do want to kind of give you guys um a little lesson. Because I don't think everybody is aware of what 3500 material is. It's not saying that there's 3,500 pieces of material that's going to be sent to. No, 3,500 material is an actual act. It's governed by the Title UA, the I'm about to say the USA. It's governed by Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 3500, and it's also known as the Jinx Act, which was a 1957 Supreme Court case. And in that case, the court ruled that the government must provide certain witness statements to the defense. Okay. Um, and then you have the rule of what is that, Rule 26.2, that governs the production of witness statements. Okay, so under the federal rules of civil, not civil, but criminal procedure, it governs the production of witness statements. Okay, so that is why they call it 3500 material. Now, going on to what it actually consists of. So this material can be police reports, it could be memos, it could be letters, it could be summaries, it could be the grand jury testimony if a witness testified in court. Now, this material is considered inculpatory, and we talked about the difference between inculpatory and exculpatory. Inculpatory actually favors the prosecution. Okay. When you're dealing with exculpatory, that favors the defense. All right. So that is what 3500 material is. Now, when is it produced? So it must be produced after witnesses have been, have testified. Okay. The government often produces the material before trial to improve efficiency, but the court may allow additional time for the defense to prepare if the government doesn't disclose the material in time. Now, in Sean Diddy Combs' case, he wants his trial to start on May 5th. So I believe, and this is how we're going to get into this letter here that was ordered by the court, in regards to this, because the defense does have to have enough time in order to prepare for trial, which is, on May 5th. So they got about a good, month and a couple of days. All right. So with that being said, let's go back to the order that was issued by Judge Subramanian. And it reads as follows. Combs asked for the identities of the victims and witnesses identified in the government's RICO enterprise letter, reprising and expanding his October 24th motion for a bill of particulars for victims' names. The government doesn't oppose disclosure of this information. It makes clear that it plans to turn this information over to Combs on March 21st, 2025, the date on the schedule for the government's disclosure of 3500 material under an attorney eyes only designation, meaning that it cannot be reviewed by Diddy, only the attorney. Now it says, because this dispute has narrowed to whether disclosure should happen now or in a couple of weeks, the interests that would normally counsel immediate disclosure have abated. The government has the information, doesn't identify any logistical issues in turning it over earlier, and in fact plans to do so shortly, minimizing any concerns about witness tampering and the like, based on advanced disclosure. On the other hand, Combs emphasizes that there is a tremendous volume of information that has and will be produced, and every day counts for preparation to with trial 2 months away. For these reasons and balancing the parties' interests, the court grants the motion and orders the government to provide the requested information under the attorney eyes only designation on or before March 10th, 2025. All right, so it looks like the defense counsel got what they wanted, and the government has to just turn over their 3500 material sooner than later. Okay. And I'm going to go back so everybody can understand exactly what the 3500 material is. So police reports, memos, letters, summaries, grand jury testimonies of the witnesses, all of that, all of that. So everything that favors the prosecution at this time is going to be handed over to the defense counsel and defense counsel only. All right, that's why it says attorney eyes only. The defendant Sean Combs cannot view this. It's only attorney eyes only. And there's a reason, because they do not want him to be reaching out to witnesses and victims, trying to intimidate them, bribe them, whatever the case may be. Thus, the reason why they updated the superseding indictment to include the witness tampering. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, you all be blessed and I'm out. Bye.